Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales, and I'm on my channel right now to appeal for help to raise public awareness around the abuse that I'm being put through, the horrific abuse I'm being put through in my home here in Campbelltown, New South Wales by StGeorge Community Housing. So right now I've been being abused by the neighbours that adjoined to my home since the early hours of this morning. This happens just about every single morning from around 2:30 in the morning onwards. These people sit there and they torture me in my home with cigarettes, things like cigarette smoke, lint, dust, and this creep downstairs has started using his body odour to torture me, and believe me, it is torture having to sit in a room and deal with what he's doing right now. It is absolutely disgusting. It's so bad, it's making me want to be sick. And he's doing this on and off through his rigged range hood. He has all three of the neighbours that adjoin my home, their range hoods have been rigged over their stoves so that they can send whatever they like into the atmosphere of my home. And instead of going out through the roof, it all gets diverted right into my unit. So that's how they're doing this. It's been like this for over a year. The woman downstairs has been sending dust into my home for over a year. And these people can view into my home illegally. They're viewing into all of my living areas, including my bathroom. And these two people downstairs, they are absolutely obsessed with harming me. They do nothing else with their lives whatsoever but try and harm me. They stalk me around my movements in my home. If I use my bathroom, they carry out abuse while I'm in my bathroom because they know I'm in my bathroom. I need these cameras removed from my home, and I really don't know how StGeorge Community Housing is getting away with having cameras in their tenants' homes. Not only can they view into my home, into my bedroom and into my bathroom, they can also monitor my heart rate. They must be doing this through some kind of app on their phone. But for those of you who follow my channel, you would know that I have had an implant placed in my body by corrupt members of the health system when I went and had a procedure done that, I didn't even know about. And this is all happening to me because of a police cover-up, because corrupt members of the justice system and health system have teamed up to try and have me abused to death. StGeorge Community Housing took bribes to pay the neighbours to try and do that. So they're able to watch me in my home. They're able to watch my heart rate on a monitor. And this is happening because of corrupt members of the justice system. And some of those corrupt members of the justice system are connected to my family. The people that are involved in putting me through this abuse are, first of all, corrupt members of the justice system, health system, and then there is StGeorge Community Housing. My family are involved in this. They have stolen an inheritance from me, which is why they are involved in this. And most of the neighbours around me have been involved in trying to abuse me to death. But right now, it's pretty much come down to the three neighbours that adjoin my home that are just putting me through this intense abuse. A lot of the abuse has stopped. A lot of the stalking has stopped. But right now, the community is just using these people that are putting me through this intense abuse. And, two of these people, the ones downstairs, they're mentally unstable people. And this is why the community is using them. One of them is a predator. They're both predators, the way they prey on my life. And but one of them is a predator that preys on women, and StGeorge Community Housing have given this person everything he needs to stalk and have power over me. So he's rarely left his home in 2 years. And that is because he has had this power over me to be able to watch me in my home and put me through abuse whenever he feels like it. And, he just thinks it's a big joke because this is what he does. This is someone who stalks women. So this is why I am feeling for help right now. This is the main reason, is these two people downstairs. They are just absolutely relentless, ruthless people, who are capable of taking a life as far as I'm concerned, because if you're tampering with somebody's air and, you're risking that person, like for a start, they're watching my heartbeat on a monitor. So they're doing that for a reason. They want my heart to stop. They're trying to cause me a heart attack or a stroke or something like that just from the stress that I'm being put through here. So, there's that. Or they could cause me a breathing episode, or they're trying to cause me a mental health episode just by constantly provoking. And they just provoke me over and over and over again throughout the day. I mean, I don't know if any, especially women out there, if you can just imagine what it's like to be using your bathroom and to have a predator breathing into your bathroom, cigarette smoke while you're in your bathroom, to provoke you and to scare you and to let you know that they're watching you and that he has that power over me. It's dreadful. So, I definitely don't deserve any of this. I haven't done anything to deserve this. I'm a good person. I'm a good tenant. This is happening to me because of corrupt members of the justice system. One of them is also a woman abuser who has committed crimes against women. And that person, has been getting away with it up until now. And I also reported a pedophile in 2020 that's connected to my family, and that person is still getting away with it as well, because the police didn't do anything about that person because it's all part of the psychological abuse that they've been putting me through. So that's a big part of it. I also live with family and domestic violence for over 10 years, and I made a lot of reports to different departments of the justice system during that time when I needed help, and my reports were never followed up, and this is because of these corrupt people in the justice system. So that's got a lot to do with why I'm being put through what I'm being put through right now as well. So I'm just appealing for help right now to stop the abuse that I'm being put through from StGeorge Community Housing. StGeorge Community Housing, I'm appealing to you to stop putting me through this abuse. You've given a predator everything he needs to put me through this abuse, and it's just so wrong and it needs to stop now. Especially the way you're attacking my air. Like, this is air. Air is more important than electricity or water or anything like that, and you should be out here fixing these range hoods back to how they should be so that these people can't tamper with my air. You should also be removing these cameras from my home immediately. So right now I'm very restricted in the things I can do too, because I'm almost certain that there has been people in my home when I'm not here, and I'm worried about leaving my home, and that's happened because of StGeorge Community Housing, and that's how restricted I am. I've got cameras in my home and I'm worried about leaving my home. So I'm practically being held hostage by this landlord. St George Community Housing. My life is, because they took a bribe from corrupt members of the justice system to try and have me abused to death, and I haven't passed away or I haven't had a mental health breakdown. I've been set up a couple of times, but that's what it was, a setup, and they're trying to do this again. This is why they're constantly provoking me, and I think that speaks for itself because of my videos and how I've had to keep getting on my channel and fight for my freedom here. So please, if there's anybody out there that can help me to stop this abuse, or if you can help me to raise public awareness by sharing one of my videos, that would really help me so much. That's what needs to happen, so that this landlord can never get away with doing this to anybody ever again. And, you know, who knows how many other people that this landlord has done this to and gotten away with in the past who, you know, didn't have a channel to speak up for themselves. So, thank you very much if you've taken the time to listen to this video. And yeah, please, if you can help me in any way to stop these people, to stop St George Community Housing and their abuse, please help me. And once again, thank you for listening.